What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. Today we are continuing my 2023 mid-year top 10s, and this will be on the 130-pound super featherweight division. Now, before we jump into that, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I try to build my channel up here. So any kind of love, as I said, much appreciated. But if you guys don't like what I'm doing, you can give me a thumbs down, and also give me some pointers. I had a guy the other day said, hey, you need to do a little bit better, you know, try to start doing pictures and different things like that, and he's right. So I appreciate that, you know, when people are honest with me, and that that goes a long way. Anyways, back to what the super featherweights here. So the mid-year top 10s, it's basically a rundown through the entire top 10. This is not the official year-end top 10s. That's my favorite thing, but I do give an updated ranking on how I see them and all that stuff before I get into doing the, you know, the top 10. Like well, no, how do I say it? Before the end of the year. So this is basically just to update you where I see these guys moving, and then, you know, and that's it. So I hope you guys really enjoy this, because I love doing the top 10s. It's my favorite thing. It's what got me started with all these videos. But all that being said, here we go. Super featherweight division, 130 pounds. We only got one guy dropping out from the previous top 10, and that is former IBF champion Kenichi Ogawa. Ogawa returned this year, got a win, but just the other guys, people moving into the top 10 and stuff, is just more, I just feel like they deserve it more than him, but it doesn't mean he can't get back in. Ogawa, remember, got knocked out and lost the IBF title last year to George Cordina. He got knocked out in the second round. So I just felt like the guys that are in the top 10 have done more. So now we start with number 10, dropping, I believe he was number 8 coming in, because I'm not seeing some of my previous marks. Yeah, I think he was number 8 coming in. Excuse me, guys. We have a two-way tie for 10th now. I apologize. First is former WBA champion Roger Gutierrez. He drops a couple spots. I think he was 7 or 8 in my original one. Highest ranking is the WBA's number 6 contender. He returned to meet some guy named Delgado, knocked him out in the second round. Staying busy. Hopefully he can get back into the mix in the second half of the year, taking on somebody decent. I do like Gutierrez. He's a former champ, so he should be looked at as kind of a guy you want to get on your resume, and that should give him opportunities. So we'll see. Also tied for 10th with him is former world title challenger Lamont Roach Jr. Lamont Roach, he's the WBA's number 1 contender. He hasn't fought yet this year, as he's been waiting around for his title shot, and his title shot is going to happen next. He's going to get a crack at reigning champion Hector Luis Garcia. That fight's supposed to be getting announced for sometime this summer. They had to go to a purse bid, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm picking Garcia in that fight, but Garcia's coming off of a loss to Tank Davis, and I do think it's close to a 50-50 fight. I do like Lamont Roach's chances heading into this one, so it's going to be interesting to see how that fight fares for both guys, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Number 9, dropping 2 spots for number 7, is former world title challenger Zelfa Barrett. Barrett returned from his second career defeat, as he lost to Shavkat Rakhimov last year, and he shook that one off and got a victory over some guy named something Sanchez. Wasn't a big fight. He got a 12-round decision against him, and is now pushing forward towards what is likely going to be a title shot, in my opinion. Joe Cordina regained the IBF title when he beat Shavkat Rakhimov by split decision, and Eddie Hearn wants to make this fight between Cordina and Barrett because they're both from the United Kingdom. It's an easy fight to make, and Barrett, you can argue, a knee injury is what lost the fight for him against Rakhimov. So I really like that fight, and I think that there's a strong likelihood that Cordina and Barrett fight each other, you know, in the second half of the year. And if that happens, I think Barrett stands a very good chance of becoming the IBF champion and moving up pretty high in the rankings. So we'll see what happens. He was number 9. Number 8 now is former featherweight champion Mark Magsayo. Magsayo is officially moving up to 130. He just doesn't have a fight yet. I was going to rank him at featherweight because he lost his only fight this year to Brandon Figueroa by a decision. I was going to keep him at featherweight, but then I looked at the governing bodies. Not one governing body has him ranked at featherweight. They have him ranked at super featherweight now, and he did hint around that he's probably going to move up in weight. He hasn't officially announced that. He doesn't have his next fight signed. But given the fact that he's ranked by the governing bodies, he's actually, his highest one is actually number 6 by the WBC. That tells me this guy's serious and he's moving up to 130, and he's already let the governing bodies know that. So that puts him there. I'm hoping he gets some kind of a decent first fight, shakes off those 2 back-to-back losses right there, and can be in the mix here at 130 pounds. Number 7 is former world title challenger Robson Kensaichao. He drops 3 spots from number 4. Kensaichao he actually had a no contest this year against some guy named Polanco. So we'll see what goes on next for Kensaichao. He can get an opportunity at any time because, you know, he fights for top rank. There's a couple top rank guys here, and I think he can get an opportunity at any time. We just got to see what opportunity he gets. He's dropped all the way to number 8 by the WBC. That's his highest ranking. I'm hoping he can get some kind of an eliminator before the end of the year to get him back in the mix. Tied for 5th. We have a 2-way tie for 5th. It was tough for me to put one over the other. First is former IBF champion Shavkat Rakhimov. He entered the year at number 2, I believe. Yeah, and he lost to Joe Cordina by a close split decision, lost the IBF title, and suffered the first loss of his career. So it's tough to drop him a lot, drop him out of the top 5 especially, but he did lose the fight. And right now there really isn't rematch talks going on, but I think Rakhimov, the IBF has him ranked number 3. He can get a final eliminator before the end of the year and possibly face the winner of Cordina and Zelfa Barrett in what would be a rematch on either side. So I think Shavkat Rakhimov, if he's smart, that's the way he's going to play it, and that's what he'll do. We'll see what happens. Also tied for 5th with him is WBA champion Hector Luis Garcia. Garcia entered the year at number 3 and was undefeated, but he moved up to 135 and challenged Tank Davis for Davis's secondary lightweight title, and he got broke down and stopped in 8 rounds, losing for the first time in his career. Now he's coming back down to 130 as expected, where he's a champion, and he's going to be fighting Lamont Roach Jr. next. The fight has not been officially announced, but we know that 2 sides went to purse bid, and they have come to an agreement, and that fight should be getting announced for sometime this summer. I think it's going to get announced sometime very soon. Very much so looking forward to that bout. I think Garcia beats him stylistically, beats Roach, but I think it's close to a 50-50 fight, and I'm interested in seeing Garcia bounce back off of that defeat to Tank Davis. So we'll see when the smoke settles where he's standing at 130 at the end of the year. Number 4 now is the newly crowned WBC champion, O'Shaquie Foster. He moves up 5 spots from number 9. In February, he challenged for the vacant WBC title against undefeated featherweight champion Ray Vargas, who was moving up in weight. He came in the underdog, Foster did, and I picked him to win, and he went in there and outboxed and outworked the tough and undefeated Ray Vargas and captured his first world title. So congratulations to O'Shaquie Foster. He is a free agent, though, and there was talks about him and Joe Cordina, but Foster's poured water on that, saying that he doesn't think Cordina wants to fight him. Foster has a very awkward, not an awkward, but a tough style to deal with, so I'm not surprised that he's not getting calls to fight here. I'm disappointed, though, because he's a good fighter and he's a champion, but I wouldn't expect a big-name opponent, maybe not even a top 10 guy, for his next fight unless somebody's willing to take the risk and fight O'Shaquie Foster. They should, because he's a champion, but Foster has that kind of skill set that can make you look bad. And I think that's why he might not be getting a lot of people signing up to fight him. Number 3, Moving up 2 spots from number 5 is the undefeated and once again IBF champion Joe Cordina. Cordina had a mandatory shot against Shavkat Rakhimov in April. He got, you know, they fought and he scored a knockdown and ended up scoring a hard-fought 12-round split decision over Rakhimov, handing him his first loss. And Cordina stays undefeated and regains his championship. He's now a 2-time champ. Again, there was some talks about a unification with Foster. Doesn't look like that's the way he's going. I personally feel Cordina is going to fight Zelfa Barrett because that's what Eddie Hearn wants. Eddie Hearn made that obvious after Cordina won the fight. I think it's a profitable fight in the United Kingdom. It's a good battle of 2 top 10 guys. And I really think it could go either way. If I had to pick, I'm probably picking Zelfa Barrett to win the fight. But Joe Cordina's got a big heart. He fights hard. And he can definitely beat anybody. So we'll see what happens and when that fight gets officially announced. Number 2, Oscar Valdez, dropping 1 spot from number 1. He's the WBO's number 1 contender. He's a former 2-division champion. He returned to action and fought Adam Lopez in a rematch from a fight years ago where he stopped Lopez in 7 rounds. And this time, he just outworked Lopez. Lopez landed some good shots, but Valdez just outworked him. But it was a known prelude to the showdown that he has next against Emmanuel Navarrete for the WBO title here. That's a big time Mexican showdown on August 12th on ESPN. In my opinion, it's going to declare the number 1 guy. And I really think it's going to be a good fight. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm picking Valdez to lose, but I definitely think he can win this fight against Navarrete for sure. And we'll see what happens on August 12th on ESPN. And number 1 is Emmanuel Navarrete, the WBO super featherweight champ. I picked him number 1. He wasn't ranked coming into the year, but I picked him number 1 because he's moving up in weight. Or he moved up from 126 where he was a champion. He stopped Liam Wilson for the vacant title after taking a knockdown in that fight. He stopped him to become a 3-division world champion and is now going straight in his first defense against Oscar Valdez, who is the former top dog of this division just last year. So really looking forward to this slugfest right here. I think it's going to be good. I got Navarrete winning this fight, but again, I do think Valdez stands a decent, solid chance of pulling out the victory here, and it could go either way. But I'm picking Navarrete to win, and he will stake his claim for sure as the top guy at 130. It should be good. And that's it, guys. That's my 2023 mid-year top 10s. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to the end-of-year top 10s for 130. So that's it. That's what I got. This is True Boxing. You've been here with the truth.